Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh. Oh, I get it. I get it. You can do a tight turning circle. Okay. Oh, I did it again. What? This isn't dodgems. Stop it. Naughty. Hello and welcome. We are D.S.R. It is a sunny, beautiful day down by the sea, and I am riding the Kawasaki Z900RS. If you're a regular watcher of our channel, you'll know that a couple of weeks ago I was on the Z650RS. And if you didn't catch it, well, why not? Go subscribe to the channel and make sure you don't miss out in the future. The suspension is so shocking. The engine braking is strong with this one. This is another bike from Holeshot in Yeovil, so if you haven't been there already, go drop in. They'll make you a cup of tea and coffee, as long as I haven't drunk all the coffee already. They've got an awesome showroom there and loads of demos you can take out, including this one. Like the Z650RS, I was super excited to take this one out too. They look very similar, but actually the similarities stop at the looks. They feel completely different bikes to ride. Starting with the obvious engine difference, this is an inline 4 848cc. It's the detuned version of what they put in the Z900. So that means it's pumping out at around 111 brake horsepower rather than the Z900 at about 125. But clearly this bike is for a very different purpose. Starting with price then, this bike sets you back £11,189, although can be slightly cheaper if you go for the black version, which I believe is 10,000 and something. I don't know, that's crap. Who knows, I've totally forgotten. What do you get for your hard-earned dollar then? This bike does come with ABS. It does come with an assistant slipper clutch. It also has the Kawasaki traction control, which includes 3 modes. 1 and 2, kind of dry, fair weather, nothing on the road. 3 is kind of your rain mode for traction control, and then you can turn it all off as well. You get the pretty pokey inline 4 engine, and also a very clever little gearbox. Sneaky in there, Disco. Of course, I'm out with Matthew today, and he is riding the ZX10R. This bike, well, it's pretty torquey actually. And what they've done with the gears, in gear 1 they've shortened it so you can get off the line a little bit quicker, and it definitely gives you a punch from being standstill to getting going. What it does mean is it makes gear 2 a little sluggish, I have found, but it is a nice little tweak. The other thing at the top end of the gearbox is they've lengthened gear 6. The idea that you can maintain motorway speeds without so much vibe kind of coming through the handlebars and also the seat. I like what they're going with it. I like the idea. I think in reality that is all overthrown by the fact that the suspension is pretty lacking. It's something I found on the Z650RS, and I definitely find on this bike too. As for the control setup and kind of the rider usability, as it were, it's pretty simple, and I say that kind of reluctantly because I know lots of people don't like it when I say that a bike has a simple setup. I think it's a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. If a bike's got lots of tech and it's complicated, then you're likely to want to do complicated things on it. That's not my kind of riding. So on the left hand side, you've got your lights, you've got your indicators on there, and your hazards just below. And then these buttons, these scroll through your trip, and if you press the select button, you can then scroll through your traction control. On the right, you've got your kill and your start switch. The center dials, just like the Z650RS, you've got your dual dials plus a little LCD monitor in the middle, which handily gives you your gear indicator, it gives you your fuel gauge, the little eco button to tell you whether you're riding an economical way, your trips, and then your traction control, and then your traction control indicator. What a lovely day. The assist and slipper clutch are classic Kawi smooth. You can downshift with ease. You're certainly not going to find that the back wheel pops out or anything. The clutch, the actual clutch lever is very, very light. It really enables you to move through the gears quickly, even without a quick shifter. As I said about them shortening first gear, it does mean that I find second gear is quite boggy. But in general, it's not a smooth power delivery through the gears. It does have a little poke to it, which is really nice. It's fun, it's exciting. It's not the Sunday ride that you got with the Z650RS. It's definitely got a little bit more about it. Looks wise, it's all the retro stuff that you love. The classic teardrop tank, the single cassette light, the analog style dials, circular mirrors, you know, it's all there, and it does look fantastic. What I'm a little disappointed on is the comfort, and I think I can narrow it down as to why. So I'm 5'5"-ish. The seat height is 834mm, which is fairly tall, especially what I'd say for kind of a retro bike. But the actual bike is quite slim, so it's not too much of a problem. I'm certainly not flat-footed, but I can comfortably get on and off the bike. They do offer a lower seat option, which I think takes it down to 800mm, so you know, this bike could suit a shorter rider for sure. Where I feel it comes up short though is the tank is fairly big. It's a 17-litre tank, and the handlebars are just a little bit raised from where I'd kind of expect them to be, or at least where they were with the 650. I'm finding I've almost placed my arms and I'm kind of holding them up, which has caused a little bit of strain. Equally, because of the gap and the distance, I'm finding myself forced down onto the tank, which has made for a rather uncomfortable ride so far on my derriere. The seat in itself looks exceptionally comfortable, but I've had a numb bum for most of this ride. The other thing, as mentioned, the suspension is so hard that I think you'd be hard pressed to have a comfortable ride if you're on the kind of roads that we're on, which has definitely been back roads today as we've wound our way down to the sea. Something I haven't mentioned is this is the first bike Kawasaki have purposefully tuned the exhaust for its sound. So when I jump off, I will give you a little sound check on this bike. It sounds good. I think Matt and I are both in agreement I am conscious that it would probably sound better had I not been riding with Matt on the ZX10, which has a Scorpion exhaust on. I found it quite hard getting used to the amount of engine braking on this bike. It is very strong, and you know, it hasn't got any rider mode. You can't change the engine braking, so you really do have to adapt to it. No, don't be a Let's check out the sound of this stock exhaust then, that Kawasaki have apparently fine-tuned to make an exhaust note that they're proud of. Let's have a check out. Ooh. You did your job marvellously. And hear it for the support crew. That's you. Oh, yeah. We get it. As always, Matt and I have had a little switcheroo. I've been on the ZX10R and he's jumped onto this. And it's always useful to get his perspective and make sure that we're thinking the same things about the bikes. Matt definitely agrees that this is a pokey little number, which he loves as well. He did agree with me about the engine braking. Right, it is very severe. Even in 6th gear, you come off the throttle and you lurch forward. Right, it's a little too severe for both of us, I'd say. Matt can confirm the front comes up, 2nd gear, clutch only. The other thing we agree on is how well this bike handles. I think this model, the curb weight is about 240 kilograms, but it certainly feels very light and manoeuvrable. Like, you can flick it very easily, that's for sure. What we disagree on is the comfort, which I think I could guess. I think the reality is I'm a little bit short for this bike. It's not an issue of getting on and off, that's all fine because it's quite narrow, but the handlebars are just a little too high for me, and my hands and my arms have really been aching from it. Equally, Matt doesn't find himself slipping down into the tank as I do, and so definitely had a more comfortable ride, let's say. Overall, I think it's a cracking bike. If I had to pick between the 650 and the 900RS, there isn't any doubt that I would be going for this one. So the main reason I wouldn't buy this bike has nothing to do with the fact that it is a bit big for me, because at the end of the day there's probably enough adjustments I could make that would make the bike fit me better, or make me fit the bike better. The main reason is the engine braking. I just find it way too severe. Being on dual carriageway, being in 6th gear, on a bike that doesn't have cruise control, you're going to come off the throttle at some point, and it's very frustrating how much you end up lurching forward. That being said, overall I have thoroughly enjoyed riding this bike. It has a really pokey engine, it's fun, it's exciting. Obviously I love the retro looks of this bike, which is why it's surprising that it has so much torque. The brakes, like the 650, are really responsive, which is awesome. The bike is still light and easy to maneuver. Like, handling is spot on. It's a good extra that they've added the different modes of traction control. I don't think this bike is any less for not having rider modes, that's for sure. It's still a really simple and easy bike to navigate. I think whether you're new to biking or are a more, what's the word? Oh, that's it. Or a more seasoned rider, I think there's still plenty to get out of this bike. So on that note, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, it would be really great if you could leave a thumbs up, but even better if you'd subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, ride safe.